Martin Mole is still in the garage then, 80 minutes and 13 seconds left on the clock and no lap time for him yet. And Jareth Hallam yet to set a time on the board as well, with 77 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in this practice session. Martin Mole still hasn't posted a lap time, 77 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in this practice session.
Sometimes you're just waiting for the track to rubber in, or perhaps there's a small setup tweak they're still working on back in the pit lane.
Thomas Kruger Dorado also on the list of drivers yet to put a time down, 76 minutes and 31 seconds still to run. Jareth Hallam still hasn't registered a time, the clock now showing 75 minutes and 59 seconds.
It's not uncommon to see some drivers take their time, especially if they're running an experimental setup or just waiting for the track to warm up fully before pushing.
Phil Bodkin begins their outlap, feeling out the track conditions. Phil Bodkin is another driver yet to post a lap time, 75 minutes and 26 seconds remaining.
You want to get out there and get a feel for the car, but sometimes patience can pay off, waiting for those ideal track conditions.
And Jimmy Lindo also yet to set a time, with 74 minutes and 54 seconds still to go in this practice session. Jareth Hallam still hasn't registered a time on the board, 74 minutes and 22 seconds left in this session.
He might be doing a longer run, focused on race pace simulation rather than outright speed right now. That's a tactic I've used myself in practice.
Martin Mull finally registers a time, a 1:55.759, slotting him into second position. Thomas Kruger Dorado still hasn't posted a time as the clock ticks down, 73 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. Martin Mull improves his time, a 1:53.842, holding on to second place. Phil Bodkin is still without a registered lap time as we hit 72 minutes and 14 seconds left in practice.
It's a long session, but you do want to get a decent baseline in before too long, just to check the car's balance and get a feel for the circuit.
Jareth Hallam finally on the board, and he goes straight to the top. A 1:52.439 puts him in P1. Jareth Hallam still holds the top spot with that 1:52.439, 70 minutes and 38 seconds remaining.
He's obviously found a sweet spot early on. Getting that strong benchmark in allows the team to really focus on fine-tuning rather than big setup changes.
Dominic Faubourg is another driver yet to post a time, 70 minutes and 6 seconds left on the clock. Jareth Hallam's 152.439 still leads the way, 69 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in practice.
He's looking very comfortable out there. A good early run really boosts confidence for the rest of the weekend.
Dominic Fovard still hasn't registered a lap time, 68 minutes and 42 seconds remain.
He's really taking his time getting out there. It makes you wonder if there's an issue with the car or if they're just on a very delayed program.
Phil Bodkin finally gets a time on the board, a 153.546, good enough for third position.
That's a solid first effort, straight into the top 3. Shows he's comfortable with the car straight out of the box.
John Boontakis is another driver yet to post a lap time, 68 minutes and 1 second left in practice.
It's always a bit of a gamble, waiting this long. You risk losing track time if there's a red flag later in the session.
Dominic Fovard still not out on track, 67 minutes and 28 seconds left in this practice session.
I'm starting to get a little concerned for them. Missing this much track time in practice can seriously impact your weekend, especially on a new or modified circuit.
Jareth Hallam improves his own benchmark, a 152.399, further solidifying his grip on first position. Martin Mull also finds some pace, improving to a 153.452, moving him up to third.
That's good to see, chipping away at the times. It's all about finding those small gains in practice.
Jareth Hallam's 152.399 continues to hold the top spot, 65 minutes and 52 seconds still to run. Thomas Kruger Dorado finally gets a time on the board, a 154.649, putting him into 5th position.
Good to see him out there and getting some laps in. A baseline is crucial to build upon for the rest of the session.
Phil Bodkin remains in 4th position with his 153.546, 64 minutes and 48 seconds left in practice.
He's consistent, that's what we want early on. Now it's about pushing the limits without making mistakes.
Dominic Fovard still hasn't registered a time, 64 minutes and 16 seconds remain. Thomas Kruger Dorado stays in 5th with that 154.649, still 63 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock.
He'll be looking to shave off some tenths on his next run. Sometimes it's about pushing the braking points, sometimes it's carrying more speed through a corner.
Jimmy Lindo posts his first time, a quick 152.630, slotting him straight into 3rd position. Martin Mull improves again, a 152.541, moving him up to 2nd place.
That's a significant improvement. He's really finding his rhythm now, taking a big chunk off his previous best.
Jimmy Lindo holds 3rd position with his 152.630, 62 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Dominic Fovard finally gets a time on the board, a 155.554, which puts him into 6th. Jimmy Lindo still in 3rd place with his 152.630, 61 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. Nigel Walters is another name yet to appear on the timing sheets, 60 minutes and 31 seconds left in practice. Jimmy Lindo holds on to 3rd position, his 152.630 the time to beat for those behind him, 59 minutes and 59 seconds remaining. Thomas Kruger Dorado improves his time, a 154.052, moving him up to 5th place.
He's definitely found some pace there. Those small increments really add up over a lap, especially when you're pushing the limits in practice.
Dominic Fovard also finds more speed, improving to a 154.133, which keeps him in 6th. Jareth Hallam shaves even more off his time, a 152.360, extending his lead at the top. Jimmy Lindo holds third with his 152.630, 58 minutes and 19 seconds still to run.
He's consistent, but you'd expect him to be looking for a bit more pace soon to challenge the top two. It's about finding that extra grip.
Dominic Fovart remains in 6th position, 154.133 his best so far, with 57 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock. Martin Mull holds second place with his 152.541, 57 minutes and 14 seconds left to go.
He's still within striking distance of the top spot. A tenth or two can make a huge difference, and that's what they'll be chasing now.
Dominic Fovart holding station in 6th, with that 154.133, 56 minutes and 45 seconds still to run.
He's had a slow start, but he's certainly improved since then. Now he needs to find those bigger chunks of time to move up the order.
Thomas Kruger Dorado still in 5th, 154.052 his best, 56 minutes and 13 seconds left.
He's consistent, but the track is getting faster, so he'll need to find more pace to stay ahead of those behind him.
Jareth Hallam just keeps getting faster, a 152.018 now, extending his lead at the top of the timesheets.
He's really putting in a dominant performance early on. That kind of pace gives you a real psychological edge for the rest of the weekend.
Nigel Walters finally registers a time, a 2:00.782, placing him in 8th position. Dominic Fovart holding on to 6th with that 154.133, 54 minutes and 37 seconds remain.
He's still got work to do, but getting a solid foundation in practice is key. Now he can focus on pushing the car without taking too many risks.
Jimmy Lindo slips to 4th, his 152.630 now pushed down the order as others find pace. Jareth Hallam's 152.018 still reigns supreme at the top, 53 minutes and 37 seconds remaining.
He's really setting the pace here. When you're consistently improving like that, it means the car is working well and the driver is confident.
Dominic Fovart remains in 6th, 154.133 his best, with 53 minutes and 5 seconds left. Jareth Hallam has been demoted to second position, his 152.018 no longer enough for the top spot.
This is where the real competition starts. Someone has found even more pace, which is exciting to see.
And it's Martin Mull who takes the lead. A superb 151.999 puts him into first position. Jimmy Lindo holds fourth, his 152.630 the benchmark for those behind him, 51 minutes and 29 seconds left. John Boontakas finally sets a time, a 155.926, which puts him into 7th place.
He's definitely late to the party, but it's important to get those laps in, no matter when. At least he has a time to work from now.
Joel Lemrick is now the only driver on the list yet to post a lap time, 50 minutes and 25 seconds left.
He's really cut it fine. Hopefully, there's a good reason for the delay, because every minute on track counts in practice.
Phil Botkin slips to 5th, that 153.546 no longer enough to hold his previous spot. Dominic Fovart remains in 6th, 154.133 his best, with 49 minutes and 21 seconds still to run.
He's consistent, but he'll need to find more if he wants to challenge those ahead. The track is only getting quicker now.
Nigel Walters is still in 8th position with his 2:00.782, 48 minutes and 49 seconds left.
He's got a big gap to close to the drivers ahead. Hopefully, he's just building up to it and not struggling with the car.
Dominic Fovart holding 6th with that 154.133, 48 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock.
He needs to start finding some significant pace if he wants to move up. The middle of the pack is where all the action is, everyone fighting for those tenths.
Phil Bodkin remains in 5th position, his 1:53.546 the time, with 47 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. Nigel Walters now drops to 9th, that 2:00.782, placing him further down the order. Phil Bodkin is still in 5th, that 1:53.546, keeping him there as the clock ticks down to 46 minutes and 40 seconds.
He's been consistent, but now is the time to really push. You can always find a bit more if you're willing to lean on the car a little harder.
Philip Kunz is another driver without a registered time, 46 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Joel Lemerick finally sets a time, a 1:53.520, which puts him straight into 5th position. Nigel Walters improves his time significantly, a 1:54.801, but he remains in 9th position.
That's a much better lap from him, a big step forward. He's clearly finding his feet now, and that's what practice is all about.
Jimmy Lindo goes fastest, a phenomenal 1:51.438 puts him at the very top of the leaderboard. Nigel Walters remains in 9th with that 1:54.801, 44 minutes and 2 seconds left in the session.
That improvement was a good start, but he'll need to find more consistently. The track is only getting faster, and everyone else is pushing hard.
Jamie Price is another driver yet to set a time on the board, 43 minutes and 30 seconds left.
It's late in the session for him to be making his appearance. You really want to get out there and get a feel for the car and track as early as possible.
Nigel Walters improves dramatically. A 153.450 rockets him up to 6th position. John Boontakis improves to a 154.232, but that only moves him into 9th place.
He's making progress, but he's got to find more to break into the top half. Every 10th counts in a session like this.
Jamie Price still hasn't posted a time with 41 minutes and 54 seconds remaining.
This is really cutting it fine. If there's a problem with the car, they've lost almost half the session. It's a risk they're taking.
Martin Mull improves his time, a 151.680, keeping him firmly in 2nd position.
He's really pushing Lindo hard now. This is where the competition gets interesting, seeing who can find that ultimate lap.
John Boontakis remains in 9th place with his 154.232, 40 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Thomas Kruger Dorado finds some significant pace, a 152.522, moving him up to 4th position. Jareth Hallam now drops to 3rd, his 152.018 eclipsed by those ahead. Martin Mull holds 2nd place with his 151.680, 39 minutes and 14 seconds remaining.
He's consistent, but Lindo has just shown a phenomenal turn of pace. Mull will need to find something special to challenge for P1.
Philip Kunz finally gets a time on the board, a 154.039, which puts him into 10th.
Better late than never. Now he can really start to work on the setup and push for better times in the remaining session.
Phil Bodkin slips further down the order to 7th, his 153.546 now facing stiff competition. Jareth Hallam finds more pace, a 151.766, which moves him up into third position.
That's a strong improvement from Hallam. He's really trying to close the gap to the top two, finding those extra tenths in different parts of the lap.
Chris Stokes now appears on the screen, but still without a lap time posted, 37 minutes and 6 seconds left.
He's really leaving it late. You want to get some heat cycles into those tires and get a feel for the car on track, especially in practice.
Martin Mull holds on to second position with his 151.680, 36 minutes and 51 seconds left in the session.
He's consistent, but the track is evolving, and those behind him will be hunting for pace. It's a constant battle to stay ahead in these sessions.
Phil Botkin slips to 8th position, his 153.546 not enough to keep him higher. Nigel Walters improves again, a 153.131 puts him into 6th place.
He's really found his rhythm now, taking significant chunks off his previous times. This shows confidence in the car and his driving.
Jareth Hallam holds third position with that 151.766, 35 minutes and 22 seconds remaining.
He's still in a good spot. It's about maintaining that consistency and perhaps finding one or two areas to push even harder for the ultimate lap.
Nigel Walters remains in 6th position, his 153.131 the time to beat for those behind him, 34 minutes and 50 seconds left.
He's made great progress after a slow start. Now it's about consolidating that pace and looking for those final few hundreds.
Martin Mull holds second place, his 151.680 the target for Hallam in third, 34 minutes and 18 seconds remaining.
He's consistent, but Lindo has shown incredible pace. Mull will need a perfect lap to challenge for P1 again.
Jareth Hallam holds third position, his 151.766 still good enough to keep him in the top 3. Jimmy Lindo goes even faster, a staggering 151.090, extending his lead at the top.
Wow, that's a serious statement from Lindo. He's really found another gear and is pulling away from the competition.
Martin Mull holds on to second, but now has an even larger gap to Jimmy Lindo with his 151.680.
He's consistent, but Lindo is just in a different league right now. You have to wonder if they're running different fuel loads or setups.
Maximilian Turbin is another driver yet to post a lap time, 32 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. Joel Lemrick improves to a 153.176, moving him into 7th position.
He's making progress. It's about building that confidence and finding the limits of the car and the track in these practice sessions.
Maximilian Turbin still hasn't registered a time, 31 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the session.
This is getting very late in the session for a first-timed lap. They're really going to be up against it to get meaningful data.
Niall Gagan also without a lap time posted, 30 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock.
This is starting to look like a problem for some of these teams. Missing this much track time in practice can seriously hurt your setup for qualifying in the race.
Joel Lemrick slips to 8th, his 153.176 now facing further competition.
It's a tight midfield battle out there. You have to keep pushing because everyone else is also finding pace as the track rubbers in.
David Constable Barry posts a 153.181, which puts him into 9th position. Chris Stokes still without a time on the board, 29 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Phil Bodkin drops further down, now in 10th with his 153.546. Jamie Price finally registers a lap, a 153.864, which places him into 13th. Chris Stokes suddenly bursts into action with a 152.218, putting him straight into 5th position. Jamie Price improves his time to a 153.454, moving him up to 11th. Philip Kunz also finds significant pace, a 152.607, moving him up to 7th. Nigel Walters slips to 8th position, his 153.131 now being challenged by others. Chris Stokes holds on to 6th with his 152.218, 25 minutes and 26 seconds remaining.
He really came out of nowhere to set that time. It shows what you can do even with less track time if the car is good and you're confident.
Jamie Price improves again, a 153.238, holding his 11th position. Nigel Walters improves his time to a 152.896, but remains in 8th position. Phil Bodkin slips to 12th position, his 153.546 now quite a way off the top. Jimmy Lindo's incredible 151.090 still leads the way, 23 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Chris Stokes takes a big leap forward. A 151.716 puts him into 3rd position.
What a turn of pace from Stokes. After such a late start, he's really making up for lost time and showing he's got the speed.
Jamie Price holds on to 11th with his 153.238, 22 minutes and 41 seconds left.
He's consistent in that midfield battle. Now it's about finding that extra grip and maybe trying a different line to shave off some more time.
Joel Lemrick also slips to 11th, with his 153.176 being pushed down the order.
The competition in the midfield is fierce. 1 or 2 hundredths can make a huge difference in position at this stage.
John Boontakis improves to a 153.613, but that only moves him to 13th.
He's finding pace, but everyone else is too. He needs to find a significant chunk to make an impact in the top 10.
Jareth Hallam drops to 5th position, his 151.766 now being challenged by the rapid pace of others.
He had a great start, but now the others are really starting to push. This is where you see who has something left in the tank.
Joel Lemrick makes a big jump, a 152.527 puts him into 8th position. Jimmy Lindo still holding a commanding lead with his 151.090, 20 minutes and 1 second left in practice. Adam Tiaz is another name yet to register a lap time, 19 minutes and 29 seconds remaining. Nigel Walters slips to 10th with his 152.896 as the field gets tighter. Adam Tiaz still hasn't posted a time with only 18 minutes and 25 seconds left.
This is really puzzling. You'd expect everyone to have some laps under their belt by now, even just installation laps. Thomas Kruger Dorado improves dramatically. A 151.752 moves him up to 4th position.
Adam T is still no lap time registered, 17 minutes and 21 seconds left in the session.
He's missing out on crucial setup time. If they're waiting for a specific track condition, it's a big gamble.
Phil Bodkin slips to 13th, his 153.546 now a distant memory compared to the leaders.
He's going to need a big push to climb back up. The track is at its fastest now, so he has the opportunity.
Adam Tias is the last remaining driver without a time on the board, 16 minutes and 17 seconds left.
This is an unusual situation. It has to be an issue, either with the car or something preventing them from getting out. They're losing valuable data.
David Constable Barry improves his time to a 152.851, moving him up to 10th.
Good progress from him. He's really working hard to find those extra tenths and climb up the leaderboard.
Neil Constable Barry posts a 153.788, putting him into 16th position.
He's out there and getting laps in now. A decent first effort, but he'll be looking to improve on that quickly.
Thomas Kruger Dorado holds on to 4th with his 151.752, 15 minutes and 3 seconds remaining.
He's looking strong, right there in the mix with the front runners. Now it's about consistency for the rest of the session.
Adam T is still no sign of a lap time, 14 minutes and 31 seconds left on the clock.
This is an absolute mystery at this point. With so little time left, it's becoming highly improbable he'll get a representative run in.
John Boontakis is down to 15th, his 153.613 now well down the order.
He needs to find some serious pace, and quickly. The track is at its quickest, so the opportunity is there if he can grab it.
Joel Lemrick makes another big improvement, a 152.202, launching him up to 7th position. Martin Mull finds another gear, a 151.245, moving him up to 3rd.
He's really pushing hard now, trying to challenge Lindo's dominant pace. This is a brilliant lap, really showing his capability.
Jimmy Lindo slips to second, his 151.090 now no longer the fastest on the board.
Someone has gone quicker. This is fantastic. The competition is really heating up in these final minutes.
And it's Chris Stokes who sets the new benchmark. A phenomenal 150.918, putting him into first position.
Incredible. From a very late start, he's just jumped to the top of the timesheets. That is a blistering lap.
John Boontakis improves to a 153.510, but still finds himself in 15th position. Martin Mull fights back. A blistering 150.640 puts him back into the lead. Niall Gagan finally posts a time, a 153.122, which puts him into 13th. Thomas Kruger Dorado holds on to fourth with his 151.752, 10 minutes and 9 seconds left. Niall Gagan improves significantly, a 152.862, moving him up to 12th position.
That's a much better lap from him, shaving off a good chunk of time. He's clearly getting more comfortable with the car and the circuit.
Chris Stokes holds second with his 150.918, 9 minutes and 11 seconds remaining.
He's really found his form now. The track is at its grippiest, and he's making the most of it, right up there with Mole.
Improves his time to a 152.247, moving him up to 8th.
He's finding those crucial tenths in these final minutes. That's good to see, trying to optimize the car's performance for qualifying.
Neil Constable Barry improves his time to a 153.297, slotting him into 14th. David Constable Barry makes a big jump, a 151.879, putting him into 6th position.
Fantastic pace from him. He's really found something in these final minutes, making a strong statement for the rest of the weekend.
Jamie Price improves to a 152.159, moving him up to 9th position.
That's a strong improvement from him. He's really pushing hard now, trying to make the most of the remaining track time.
Philip Kunz drops to 10th, his 152.247 now facing tough competition from those around him.
The midfield is incredibly tight. One small mistake or a better lap from someone else can see you drop a few positions instantly.
Niall Gagan improves again, a 152.823, but he's dropped to 14th. Rich Snape posts a 152.344, which puts him into 11th position.
He's out there and immediately in the mix. A solid first effort, now he'll look to build on that in these final minutes.
Philip Kunz remains in 10th position, with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Constable Barry holds 15th with his 153.297 as we count down to the final minutes.
He'll be pushing hard for one more fast lap. The track is well rubbered in now, so the potential for improvement is there.
Adam Tias finally gets a time on the board, a 159.567, placing him in 18th position.
Well, he finally got out there. That's a huge relief for his team, even if the time isn't competitive, it's data they can work with.
Chris Stokes holds second with his 150.918, exactly 4 minutes remaining in practice. Maximilian Turbin finally posts a time, and it's a quick one. A 152.140 puts him into 10th. David Constable Barry remains in 6th with his 151.879, with just over 3 minutes left. Thomas Kruger Dorado holds on to 4th, his 151.752 the time to beat, 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. Chris Stokes holds second position with his 150.918, exactly 2 minutes and 1 second left in practice. Jamie Price makes a late charge, a 151.761, moving him up to 5th position.
Fantastic pace right at the end of the session. That shows he's found a real sweet spot with the car just in time.
Thomas Kruger Dorado holds on to 4th, his 151.752 under threat as the clock ticks down to 57 seconds.
He's going to be looking over his shoulder now, knowing everyone is on their last flying laps trying to improve. It's all about holding on.
Maximilian Turbin remains in 10th position, 152.140 his best, with just 25 seconds left.
He's had a strong late run, but with so little time, it's unlikely he'll improve much further. Still, a good effort to get into the top 10.
Jimmy Lindo slips to 3rd, his 151.090 now surpassed by others in these dying seconds. Maximilian Turbin remains in 10th position, 152.140 his best, with just 34 seconds left.
He's made a good late push to get into the top 10. With this little time, it's about holding that position now, focusing on the data for tomorrow.
Jareth Hallam finds a late improvement, a 151.762, moving him up to 6th position.
That's a very good lap right at the end. Everyone is pushing for those final tenths, and he's clearly found some pace when it matters.
Thomas Kruger Dorado finds even more pace, a 151.696, pushing him up into 4th position. Chris Stokes improves his time again, a 150.906, holding on to 2nd position.
He is just relentless. From that late start, he's showing incredible speed and consistency. What a performance in practice.
Welcome back to Shanghai. The qualifying session is just moments away. The tension is palpable here at the circuit. And we are green here at Shanghai. Qualifying is officially underway. 9 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock, and it looks like Thomas Kruger Dorado is yet to venture out of the garage.
It's always a bit of a gamble, waiting this long. You either get a clear track or you risk running out of time if there's a red flag later on. He's clearly confident in his one-lap pace.
The clock continues to tick down here. 9 minutes and 17 seconds left in this qualifying session. Still no time on the board for Jareth Pelham, who remains in the pit lane.
He'll be looking for that perfect window. Sometimes you see drivers hold back, hoping for the track to rubber in or to avoid traffic on their crucial outlap. It's a fine balance.
Down to 8 minutes and 45 seconds now, and we're still waiting for Jamie Price to set a lap time. The pressure will be building for the number 16 car.
Every second counts now. I remember sessions where I waited until the last possible moment. Sometimes it paid off with a clear track, other times it was a scramble.
The clock really is ticking now, 8 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Adam Tiaz is another driver who still needs to get a lap on the board.
He needs to get out there soon. The tires need a lap to come up to temperature before you can really push for that ultimate qualifying effort.
7 minutes and 57 seconds remain in this session, and Thomas Kruger Dorado is still without a time. This is getting incredibly tight now for the number 3 car.
You start to feel the pressure in the garage at this point. They'll be watching the track carefully, trying to find that perfect gap, but time is certainly running out.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado finally crosses the line. A 151.762 puts him straight to the top of the leaderboard, an impressive first effort.
That's a strong marker. To come out and deliver that kind of time on your first flying lap shows real confidence. That's how you want to start a qualifying session.
Martin Mull is another driver we're still waiting on. Just 5 minutes and 50 seconds now to get a time on the board in this frantic qualifying session. Down to 5 minutes and 41 seconds now, and Chris Stokes has yet to record a lap time. He'll need to get a move on if he wants to challenge.
You have to wonder what the strategy is there. Are they waiting for a specific track condition, or is there a setup issue they're trying to resolve in the garage?
Phil Bodkin is still in the pits, just 5 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock now. He'll be feeling the pressure to get a decent lap in. Thomas Kruger Dorado is on a lightning fast lap. He's currently P4, but already 0.35 seconds up on his personal best. This could be a major improvement for the number 3 car.
That's a huge delta at this point in the lap. He's really finding pace out there, and if he can hold that through the final corners, he'll be making a significant jump up the leaderboard.
Kruger Dorado improves again. A 151.455, that's a new personal best and it puts him into second position. What a drive.
He really strung that lap together beautifully. You can see the confidence growing with each run. That's a very competitive time at this stage.
Martin Mull is flying. He's over 2 seconds up on his initial time. If he can maintain this pace, he's going to catapult up the grid. Chris Stokes is absolutely lighting up the timing screens. He's P2 currently, but 0.41 seconds quicker than his best lap. This is a blistering lap from the number 22 car. And Dominic Fovarg is really pushing it. He's P13, but nearly a second up on his best time. This could be a significant move for him.
He's definitely found some pace there. You can feel the grip coming in as the track rubbers up, and he's taking full advantage of it. Consistency is key now.
Phil Bodkin is currently P14, but he's ever so slightly down on his best time. It's a close one for the number 69 car with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. Rich Snape is currently in P8, but he's just a fraction down on his best. He'll need a big push in the final sector to improve on that time. Jamie Price is flying, currently P9, but over 3/10 quicker than his best. This is a brilliant lap from the number 16 car. Jamie Price with a phenomenal lap. A 151.320 puts him up into third position. What an improvement.
That's an impressive jump. He's clearly found some pace in that final run, putting him right in contention for a strong grid slot. Great execution under pressure.
Jareth Hallam is running exactly on his best time. P9 for the number 18 car with just over 2 minutes remaining. He'll need something special to climb higher.
Every 10th will count here. He's got to extract every last bit of performance from the car if he wants to avoid being pushed down the order as others improve.
Dominic Fovarg is currently P7, but he's just a tiny fraction behind his best lap time. It's going to be tight for him to improve on this run.
He needs to dig deep now. Those final few corners often make or break a qualifying lap, and he'll be pushing to the absolute limit.
Neil Constable Barry is absolutely flying. Currently P16, but over a second up on his best time. This could be a massive jump up the leaderboard.
That's an incredible improvement. He's really found the rhythm of the track now. If he can maintain that advantage through the last sector, he'll be making a statement.
Rich Snape is P10, but he's a quarter of a second quicker than his best lap. He's really found some pace here in the closing moments. Jamie Price is flying on this last lap. He's currently P3, but nearly 3/10 up on his best time with just 31 seconds left. This could be pole position. Jareth Hallam is making a last gasp effort here. He's P9, but nearly half a second up on his best time. What a final push from the number 18 car. Neil Constable Barry is P16, but he's making a late charge, almost 3/10 up on his best with only 10 seconds remaining. He's got to get it to the line.
This is where precision really pays off. He's found some late pace, and if he keeps it clean, he could climb a few spots at the very end.
Constable Barry improves his time to a 153.082, but he remains in 16th position. A good effort, but not enough to move him up. Philip runs as P13, but he's making a big push, 0.35 seconds up on his best lap. He's got 36 seconds left to cross the line and make that count. Adam Tiaz is P17 but absolutely flying. Over a second up on his best time. This is an incredible improvement from the number 5 car with less than a minute remaining.
That's a massive delta. He's really found something on this lap, and if he can bring it home, he'll be making a huge leap up the order. Every corner matters now.
Thomas Kruger Dorado is on another quick lap. He's P4 but currently 0.12 seconds up on his best time. Can he find more pace to climb higher? Thomas Kruger Dorado improves again. A 151.257 puts him into 4th position. He's really pushing hard in these final moments. Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit, a blustery 10 miles per hour wind greeting the drivers as we prepare for the start. On pole position, it's Chris Stokes for England, in his JT5 Shiro 2021, a strong showing for the Pro-Am class driver. Lining up alongside him in second, it's Martin Mol from the Netherlands, driving the JT5 Moyota 2021.
A pro-class driver right there, so Stokes will have a real challenge on his hands from the get-go.
Third on the grid, it's Jamie Price in another JT5 Shiro 2021, a Pro-Am class driver completing the top 3. Thomas Kruger Dorado, also from the United Kingdom, starts from P4 in his JT5 Moyota 2021. Jimmy Lindo in the JT5 Shiro 2021 starts from 5th position on the grid.
An M-class driver starting high up there, that's a lot of pressure on those opening laps.
And Joel Lemrick, in another JT5 Shiro 2021, completes the top 6 starting grid. Jareth Hallam, representing the United Kingdom, starts from 7th place in his JT5 Moyota 2021.
He's a Pro-Am driver, so he'll be looking to make up positions quickly amongst that pack.
8th on the grid is Dominic Fauvargue, also from the UK, in his JT5 Shiro 2021.
Another Pro-Am, there's a real mix of classes in these early grid slots, which often makes for an exciting start.
Maximilian Turbin for England begins his race from 9th, driving the JT5 Moyota 2021.
He's a Pro-Am too, so a strong race for him today could mean some serious championship points.
And completing our top 10 starters, it's Philipp Kuntz from Germany, in a JT5 Shiro 2021.
Kuntz is a pro driver, so don't be surprised if he's already planning his attack for the field from 10th.
Niall Gagan from Ireland, an M-class driver, starts from 12th position in his JT5 SNX 2021. David Constable Barry, another English driver, starts 13th in his JT5 Shiro 2021. Phil Bodkin for England, an M-Class driver, lines up in 14th spot.
He'll be looking to run a clean race and make up some ground in his class.
Nigel Walters from the United Kingdom starts 15th in his JT5 Moyota 2021. Neil Constable Barry from the UK starts 16th in a JT5 Shiro 2021. Adam Tias from the United Kingdom, an M-Class driver, lines up in 17th. The lights are out, and we're underway at Shanghai, though it's a safety car start for the formation lap. The cars are weaving, trying to get heat into those tires as they follow the safety car around the Shanghai circuit.
It's crucial to keep everything warm, especially the brakes, even on a formation lap. You don't want to be caught out on cold tires when the race proper begins.
Just a few more corners now before the safety car peels into the pits.
This gives the drivers a final chance to get a feel for the track conditions and those tricky corners before they're unleashed.
The safety car is almost at the pit entry now, ready to hand control over to our pole sitter, Chris Stokes. The tension is palpable on the grid as they slow for the final corner before the start proper.
This is where drivers are making their final mental preparations. Heart rate up, but calm hands on the wheel. You're thinking about that first corner, how to manage the launch, and where the closest competitors are.
And there it goes, the safety car heads into the pit lane.
Now it's up to Chris Stokes to manage the pace before the green flag drops, a critical moment for the entire field.
Stokes really compressing the field now, slowing them down before the final acceleration to the line. All eyes on the lights, waiting for them to go out.
This is a tactical game. You want to surprise the guys behind you but also maintain enough momentum for your own start. It's all about finding that perfect balance between traction and launch.
Safety car in this lap.
The lights are on. One by one they illuminate.
Every driver has their foot hovering over the accelerator, anticipating that blackout.
And they're out. Green flag, we are racing at Shanghai. Stokes gets a decent start, but Mole is right there on his outside.
Oh, that was a strong jump from Mole. He's really challenging for the lead into turn 1. Getting a good launch like that can make or break your entire race. I remember times when a poor start would just leave you fighting all day.
Mole is wheel to wheel with Stokes through the first
Get ready,
corner.
safety
What a battle
car's clear.
already. Jamie Price in the number 3 car is holding his own in third, watching this unfold.
This is where experience really counts, knowing when to push and when to back off slightly to avoid contact. It's so easy to get caught up in the aggression of the start and make a costly mistake.
Mole has edged ahead of Stokes as they exit turn 1. He takes the lead. What a phenomenal start for Martin Mole from the Netherlands.
He used that outside line perfectly. It takes real commitment to go around the outside on cold tires in the first corner. That's an incredible move, a pro driver showing his class right from the opening moments.
Mole now leads, Stokes slots into second, with Price maintaining third position.
The field is starting to spread out a little now, but the fight for the top spots is far from over.
Further back in the field, Rich Snape, who started 11th, is navigating the opening lap chaos in his JT5 SNX 2021. Mole is already looking to build a gap, putting in a strong opening sector. Stokes will need to respond quickly if he doesn't want the lead car to pull away.
This initial phase is critical. You're trying to settle the car, find your rhythm, and not make any silly mistakes while everyone is still so close. Those first few laps often dictate the flow of the entire race, especially with the wind picking up here at Shanghai.
Jareth Hallam, who started 7th, has made up a place or two in the early running.
He's a Pro-Am driver, so gaining ground early is crucial for his class battle.
Meanwhile, Philip Kuntz, the pro driver who started 10th, is already up into 8th position. He's making quick progress through the midfield.
That's exactly what you expect from a pro. He won't be satisfied with 8th, he'll have his sights set much higher. Those moves through traffic require a lot of confidence and precision, especially with all the jostling early on.
Jimmy Lindo, the AM-class driver, is still holding his own in 5th, which is an excellent start for him.
He's keeping some faster drivers behind, a strong defensive drive so far.
Maximilian Turbin has lost a couple of spots, dropping from 9th to 11th. He'll need to regroup and find his pace.
It's easy to get caught out in the pack, especially if you get squeezed or take a slightly suboptimal line. Sometimes you just have to absorb that initial hit and then work your way back up, which can be mentally tough.
Safety car in this lap.
David Constable Barry is holding his starting position of 13th, running a clean race so far. No drama for him in these hectic opening moments.
Sometimes the best move is no move at all in the first lap. Just surviving and keeping clean can be a victory in itself. Especially for a Pro-Am driver, a solid consistent pace is often more rewarding than aggressive risks early on.
And Adam Tiaz, from 17th, has moved up a position to 16th.
Every spot counts, especially from the back of the grid. That's a good start for him.
Get ready, safety car's clear.
Phil Bodkin has also gained a spot, now running in 13th position from 14th.
He'll be pleased with that, climbing a position while others might have been losing ground.
Get ready, safety car's clear in this lap. Get ready, safety car's clear in this lap.
Neil Constable Barry is holding firm in 16th, keeping his nose clean. A steady start for him in the JT5 Shiro.
In these larger fields, sometimes the biggest challenge is just finding clear air to run in. Being stuck in traffic can really hurt your lap times and tire wear, so a steady position can be beneficial.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped a couple of positions from his starting P4, now running in 6th. He's still in the thick of the action though.
It's easy to get swamped in those early corners. You can lose a couple of places without making a single mistake if others are just more aggressive. The key is not to panic, just find your rhythm and start reeling them back in.
Dominic Fauvargue has moved up a spot, now running in 7th after starting 8th. A good start to his race.
He's keeping his composure out there, making moves when he sees the opportunity. Every position gained early can make a big difference, especially in qualifying for pit strategy later on.
Joel Lemrick has dropped a spot, now running 7th after starting 6th. He's under pressure from the cars behind him.
He'll need to defend hard through these next few corners. Losing positions early can make your race much harder. Finding that balance between defense and maintaining a fast pace is one of the hardest things to do in the car.
Nigel Walters has dropped 2 places, now running 17th after starting 15th. A tough start for him.
He might have gotten squeezed or just struggled to get off the line as well as some others. It happens. The important thing now is to keep his head down and try to recover those lost positions.
Niall Gagan has gained a position, now up to 11th from his 12th starting spot. A solid opening for the Irishman.
He's an M-Class driver, so making progress through the field like that is really commendable. It's all about making clean, precise moves without taking too many risks this early.
Martin Mull continues to lead the race, building a small gap over Chris Stokes in second.
He's really focused on maximizing these early laps, which is a smart strategy to break away from the pack.
Jamie Price is holding on to third, with a small gap to Stokes ahead and a slightly larger one to the battle behind.
He's running a lonely race at the moment, which can be beneficial to focus on lap times.
Chris Stokes is trying to respond, but Mole's pace up front is formidable. The gap is holding steady around half a second.
Stokes needs to find something extra here, either through a specific corner or just finding more confidence with the car. In my experience, if you let the leader get into a rhythm, they become incredibly hard to catch.
Jareth Hallam is now in 5th position, a great chart up the order from 7th on the grid.
He's really impressing in these opening laps, making clean passes and showing strong pace.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has now dropped another spot, down to 7th after starting 4th.
He's still fighting, but it's been a challenging start for him, losing 3 positions in quick succession.
Jimmy Lindo, the Am-Class driver, is still remarkably in 4th position. He's fending off some seriously fast Pro-Am drivers behind him.
This is an outstanding drive from Lindo. He's really showing some excellent racecraft and defensive driving. To hold that position against drivers like Hallam is impressive. It takes a lot of focus and keeping those fast guys in your mirrors.
Joel Lemrick is now in 9th position, having lost another spot. He seems to be struggling to maintain his early grid position.
The midfield is incredibly tight, and it only takes one slight error or a missed apex to lose momentum and get overtaken. He'll need to dig deep to prevent losing any more ground here.
Dominic Fauvargue has moved up another spot, now into 6th position. He's had a really strong opening to the race.
He's definitely found his rhythm early on, moving up from 8th on the grid. He's making good use of that Shiro 2021. That's what you want, a clean, consistent drive making up positions without taking unnecessary risks.
Maximilian Turbin has climbed back a position, now in 10th from 11th.
He's starting to find his feet after a tough initial few corners, trying to recover.
Niall Gagan has now moved up into 10th position, continuing his charge. He's made significant progress from P12.
He's an AM driver and he's now battling with Pro-Ams and even a pro in Kuntz just ahead of him. That's a very impressive performance in these opening stages.
David Constable Barry is now running in 12th position, having moved up from 13th.
He's steadily picking off places, a good solid drive so far.
And Rich Snape has dropped a position, now running in 12th from 11th.
He's finding himself under pressure from the drivers behind him.
Phil Bodkin is now up to 14th, maintaining his forward momentum from the back of the grid. He's made a couple of places now.
He's keeping it clean, and that's often the best way to gain positions when others are pushing too hard and making errors. Consistency is key, especially for an AM driver. Just getting to the end in a good position is the goal.
Nigel Walters has dropped another position, now 18th from his original 15th spot.
It's been a tough opening for him. He'll need to find some pace quickly to stop the bleed.
Adam Tias has held on to 16th position, running consistently.
He's defending well against any attacks from behind and trying to make headway.
Neil Constable Barry is now running 17th, having lost a position in the early scramble.
He's still in the thick of it, but he'll have to avoid losing any more ground.
Martin Mull continues to lead by a slender margin over Chris Stokes.
He's driving a brilliant opening stint, putting in fast and consistent laps to maintain that lead.
Jamie Price is still in third, but the gap to Stokes ahead is growing slightly. He's under pressure from behind now.
He needs to manage his tires and not get rattled. It's a long race, and defending too hard can sometimes cost you more later on. In my racing, I'd often look for a clear space to breathe rather than getting into a protracted fight if it wasn't for position.
Jareth Hallam is still in 5th, but he's making good time and closing in on Jimmy Lindo in 4th.
This battle for 4th is really heating up. A Pro-Am chasing an M-Class driver.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has now dropped another position, now running 8th.
It's been a tough decline for him from P4 on the grid. He's really struggling to hold his place.
Jimmy Lindo is doing an incredible job holding on to 4th position, still fending off Hallam. He's driving with immense composure for an M-Class driver.
It's all about holding your line and not giving an inch without being overly aggressive. He's doing it perfectly. This kind of performance can really turn heads in the paddock, regardless of class.
Joel Lemrick is now down to 10, continuing to lose ground in the midfield battle. He needs to find some pace quickly.
He's definitely losing out in the corners. Maybe he's struggling with tire temperature, or perhaps he's just not quite as comfortable with the conditions as some others. You can feel the car sliding more, and that makes it harder to be precise.
Dominic Fauvargue is still in 6th, having settled into a strong rhythm. He's keeping Thomas Kruger Dorado behind him.
He's driving a really disciplined race, picking his moments to advance and then consolidating his position. That's how you move forward consistently without taking unnecessary risks.
Maximilian Turbin has moved up another spot, now in 9th.
He's steadily recovering from his early setbacks, working his way back up the order.
Niall Gagan has now moved into 8th position, a truly stellar climb from 12th on the grid.
He's an M-Class driver showing incredible form, consistently making up places.
Rich Snape has dropped another spot, now 13th.
He's finding it tough to hold his own in the congested midfield.
David Constable Barry is now in 11th, having gained another position. He's steadily moving up the leaderboard.
He's keeping it clean, keeping it consistent. That's a great approach, especially when the conditions are a bit tricky. I've always found that a patient, steady approach pays dividends in races like this.
Phil Bodkin is now in 15th, losing a place, perhaps getting caught out in traffic. He'll want to regain that position quickly.
It's so easy to get caught in a slipstream and then find yourself vulnerable into the next braking zone. Maintaining clear air is often half the battle in these midfield scraps.
Nigel Walters has lost another spot, now 19th.
A very difficult start to the race for him. He's at the back of the field now.
Adam Tiaz is holding 16th position, still running a clean race.
He's defending well and focusing on his own rhythm.
Neil Constable Barry has dropped another spot, now 18th.
He's definitely struggling to find his pace and hold off the cars behind him.
Martin Mull still holds the lead, a very controlled drive from the front. He's demonstrating why he's a pro-class driver.
He's managing the gap well, keeping Stokes at arm's length. It's about consistency now, hitting those marks lap after lap. This is the kind of driving that wins championships, just getting your head down and focusing on extracting maximum performance.
Chris Stokes is still in second, trying to match Mull's pace, but he hasn't been able to close the gap yet.
He's driving well, but Mull seems to have that extra bit of pace on him in these conditions.
Jamie Price is now under immense pressure from Jareth Hallam for third position. Hallam is right on his gearbox.
This is where Price's experience will be tested. Hallam is flying and he'll be looking for any opportunity to pass. I remember battles like this, you have to really concentrate on your exit speed to try and break the toe.
Jareth Hallam has made the move. He's through on Jamie Price for third position.
A fantastic move from Hallam. He saw the gap and took it decisively. He's been on a charge all race.
Jamie Price drops to fourth, unable to fend off the determined Jareth Hallam. He'll need to regroup quickly.
Sometimes you just have to concede and then look for your own opportunity later. Hallam was just too strong there. It's about minimizing the loss and not letting it snowball into further positions.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped to 9th position, continuing his slide down the order. He's really struggling for pace.
He's definitely not looking comfortable in that Toyota. Maybe an issue with the setup or perhaps just the conditions aren't suiting him. It's demoralizing when you're just losing position after position, you start to question everything.
Jimmy Lindo is still incredibly in 5th, holding off Dominic Fauvard behind him.
This M-Class driver is putting in the drive of his life, fending off Pro-Ams with ease.
Joel Lemrick is now down to 11, having lost another position. He's really struggling in this race.
He's definitely finding it difficult to hold his ground. The pack behind him is strong and looking to capitalize on any hesitation. It's relentless out there, you can't afford to drop your guard for a second.
Dominic Fauvard is still in 6th, now chasing down Jimmy Lindo for 5th. He's keeping the pressure on the M-Class leader.
He's driving a smart race, picking his moments and not getting drawn into overly aggressive moves too early. Patience is a virtue when you're chasing someone who's defending well. You have to wait for the opportune moment.
Maximilian Turbin is now up to 8th position, continuing his recovery drive. He's making good progress through the field.
He's found his rhythm now, and he's shown some real determination to get back to where he started, and even beyond. It's all about consistent lap times and making precise overtakes, which he's doing.
Niall Gagan is still in 7th, a fantastic position for an M-Class driver.
He's keeping pace with the Pro-Am drivers around him, truly an exceptional performance.
Rich Snape has now dropped to 14th position.
He's really struggling to find consistency and speed in the midfield.
David Constable Barry is now into 10th position, continuing his quiet but effective charge. He's gained 3 places already.
He's driving a very mature race, just picking up places without any fuss. Sometimes the most effective way to gain positions is just to be consistent and capitalize on other people's mistakes, which he's clearly doing.
Phil Bodkin is now 16th, having lost another position.
He's definitely losing ground to the cars around him. We need to dig deep.
Nigel Walters has dropped to last position, 20th.
A very tough day for him so far, struggling to make any headway in this race.
Adam Tiaz is holding 17th position.
He's fending off the cars behind him, maintaining his position in the lower midfield.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 19th position, continuing to lose ground. It's been a challenging race for him.
He's definitely finding it difficult to hold his pace. This can be due to a number of factors, maybe tire degradation, or just struggling to find the optimal line. You have to keep pushing even when things are tough, otherwise you just keep dropping back.
Martin Roll still leads, holding a comfortable gap over Chris Stokes.
He's driving flawlessly out front, not giving Stokes any opportunities to close in.
Chris Stokes is still in second, trying to maintain pace with Mole and manage the gap to Hallam behind.
He's in a slightly isolated position, which can be good for focus but also makes it hard to gauge your relative pace.
Jareth Hallam is firmly in third, now looking to close the gap to Stokes ahead.
He's on a charge. This Pro-Am driver is really pushing the pace in that JT5 Moyota.
Jamie Price is still in fourth, but Jimmy Lindo is right on his tail, battling for position.
This battle for fourth is still very much alive. A Pro-Am versus an M-Class driver, it's fascinating.
Jimmy Lindo is still in fifth position, holding off a quicker Fobart behind him.
He's defending brilliantly, showing incredible maturity and racecraft for a young driver.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped to 10th position now, an agonizing fall from 4th on the grid. He's really struggling out there.
He's clearly having a hard time, whether it's the car, the tires, or just finding the rhythm in these conditions. It's a testament to the competition that you can go from P4 to outside the top 10 so quickly if you're not absolutely on it.
Joel Lemrick is now in 12th, continuing to fall back in the order. A very disappointing race so far for him.
He's finding it hard to hold onto any position. The pace just isn't there for him today. In racing, some days everything clicks, and some days it just doesn't, and it looks like it's one of those tough days for him.
Dominic Fauvargue is still in 6th, trying to find a way past the tenacious Jimmy Lindo.
He's got the pace, but Lindo is defending incredibly well, leaving no clear opening.
Maximilian Turbin is now up to 8th, closing in on Niall Gagan in 7th.
He's making steady, consistent progress, working his way back up the field impressively.
Niall Gagan is still in 7th, a fantastic drive for an M-Class driver, holding off faster cars.
He's truly punching above his weight class today, showing real talent and composure.
Rich Snape has now dropped to 15th position, another difficult lap for him.
He's really struggling to find his rhythm and is losing ground to the cars around him.
David Constable Barry has now climbed into 9th position, a remarkable recovery from 13th on the grid.
He's making fantastic progress, steadily and surely moving up the order, a very smart drive.
Phil Bodkin is now 17th, losing yet another position. He's definitely losing pace out there.
He might be struggling with a handling issue, or perhaps just tire wear is really starting to affect him. When you lose confidence in the car, it's very hard to push for those last tenths of a second, and that's when positions start to disappear.
Nigel Walters is still in last position, 20th.
It's been a race to forget for him so far, just unable to find any competitive speed.
Adam Tiaz is now 18th, having lost a position. He's being caught by the drivers who are finding more pace later in the stint.
It's relentless out there, you can't afford to relax even for a moment, especially in the midfield. Every driver is looking for an advantage, and if you drop off slightly, someone will capitalize.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 19th position, continuing to lose ground. It's been a tough race for him, battling at the back.
He's definitely finding it difficult to hold his own. The field is very competitive, and the small margins make a big difference. You have to just keep pushing, hoping for an opportunity or a mistake from someone ahead.
Martin Hull still leads the race by a comfortable margin now.
He's truly dominating this opening phase, extending his lead with every lap.
Chris Stokes is still in second, but Jareth Hallam is now right behind him. The gap is closing rapidly.
Hallam is on fire. He's just taken Price, and now he's got Stokes in his sights for second place. This is what racing is all about, the pressure building, seeing who cracks first under the relentless pace.
Jareth Hallam has made the move. He's passed Chris Stokes for second position.
What a fantastic drive from Hallam. He's up from 7th to 2nd, absolutely flying out there.
Chris Stokes drops to third, unable to hold off the charging Jareth Hallam.
He'll need to refocus now and try to keep his composure, a tough battle for him today.
Jamie Price is still in fourth, now with a small gap to Stokes ahead and a similar gap to Lindo behind. He's under constant pressure.
He needs to manage his pace and try to find a rhythm to pull away from Lindo. He's been holding that spot well, but the chase is relentless. It's mentally draining when you're constantly defending your position lap after lap.
Jimmy Lindo is still in fifth, still holding off the chasing pack, an incredible drive for an M-Class driver.
He's truly defying expectations. His defensive driving is absolutely top-notch.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped to 11th position, another place lost for him. A very disappointing race so far for the P4 starter.
He's definitely lost all confidence in the car. It's painful to watch a driver lose so many positions when they started so high. You have to wonder if there's an underlying issue or if he's just really struggling to find his pace today.
Joel Lemrick is now in 13th, continuing to fall down the order.
He's definitely finding it tough out there, losing position after position.
Dominic Fauvargue is still in 6th, still trying to find a way past the stubborn Jimmy Lindo.
He's got the pace, but Lindo is just not giving him an inch. Excellent defensive driving.
Maximilian Turbin is now up to 7th, a solid recovery for him.
He's made great progress from his early setbacks, working his way back into a strong points position.
Niall Gagan is still in 8th position, a fantastic drive for an M-Class driver holding his own against Pro-Ams.
He's truly performing above his class today, a very impressive display of consistency and speed.
Rich Snape has now dropped to 16th position, struggling for pace.
It's been a tough race for him, unable to find any rhythm and losing ground.
David Constable Berry is now into 9th position, consolidating his incredible charge through the field. He's made up 4 places and is still going strong.
He's driving a brilliant race, absolutely spot on with his lines and managing the car beautifully. This is how you get results, just chipping away, lap after lap, until you find yourself in a great position.
Phil Bodkin is now 18th, continuing to lose positions.
He's definitely finding it tough out there today, falling further back.
Nigel Walters is still in last position, 20th. A very difficult day for him on the Shanghai circuit.
He's definitely lacking pace compared to the rest of the field. Sometimes it's just not your day, no matter how hard you push. It's about finishing now and gathering data for the next race.
Adam Tiaz is now 17th, losing another position. He's finding it hard to hold his ground in the closing stages of this stint.
He's definitely feeling the pressure from the cars behind. It's tough when you're caught in a battle and you're just bleeding time. You have to make sure you're not making any mistakes and inviting further overtakes.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 19th position, still towards the back of the pack. He's having a challenging race.
He's definitely struggling for pace out there. It's a long race, and sometimes just bringing the car home is the biggest achievement. The Shanghai circuit is demanding, and if you're not absolutely on it, you'll pay the price in lap times.
Martin Mull continues to lead the race, maintaining a healthy gap to Gareth Hallam. A very dominant performance from the Dutchman so far.
He's driving like a true champion. He got the start, he built the gap, and now he's just managing it perfectly. This is a masterclass in controlling a race from the front, leaving the guys behind to fight it out.
Gareth Hallam is now solidly in second, trying to keep pace with Mull while also managing his gap to Chris Stokes. He's had a fantastic recovery drive.
He's been the star of the race so far, making up positions cleanly and with real aggression. He's showing why he's considered a serious contender, climbing from 7th to 2nd in just these few laps.
Chris Stokes is still in third, but the gap to Price behind is starting to close again.
He needs to pick up his pace or he'll be under attack from Price very soon.
Jamie Price is still in fourth, relentlessly chasing down Chris Stokes for third. He's keeping the pressure on.
He's driving a smart, patient race. He knows Stokes is struggling a little, and he's just waiting for the right moment. It's all about consistency and hitting your marks, which Price is doing well.
Jimmy Lindo is still incredibly in fifth. What a phenomenal drive for an M-Class driver. He's still holding off Dominic Faux-Varg behind him.
This is an absolute masterclass in defensive driving. Faux-Varg is a pro-am with a faster car, but Lindo is just not braking. He's putting in the race of his life, absolutely brilliant to watch.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped to 12th position, another place lost for the struggling driver.
It's been a very disappointing day for him, losing 8 positions from his start.
Joel Lemrick is now in 14th, continuing his slide down the order.
He's finding it very tough to make any progress or hold his position in this race.
Dominic Faux-Varg is still in 6th, still pushing hard to get past the resilient Jimmy Lindo.
He's trying every trick in the book, but Lindo is just not letting him through. It's a fantastic battle.
Maximilian Turbin is still in 7th, maintaining his strong recovery drive.
He's keeping pace with the front runners and consolidating his position after a tricky start.
Dagan is still in 8th position, performing exceptionally well for an in-class driver.
He's keeping his composure and pace, holding off quicker cars behind him. Fantastic effort.
Rich Snape has now dropped to 17th position, struggling for pace and consistency. A very tough race for him out there.
He's definitely losing out in the corners, perhaps a lack of grip or just struggling with the balance of the car. It's demoralizing when you're constantly fighting the car and not finding the speed.
David Constable Barry has now climbed into 9th position, an outstanding drive from 13th.
He's making excellent progress, a very smart and calculated performance.
Phil Bodkin is now 19th, continuing to fall further back. It's been a very difficult race for him, losing significant ground.
He's definitely struggling with the pace today. This track is not forgiving if you're not absolutely on it. He needs to focus on finishing and gaining as much data as possible for the next event.
Nigel Walters is still in last position, 20th. A very challenging day for him, unable to find any competitive speed at all.
He's definitely finding it tough. Sometimes it's a setup issue, sometimes it's just a lack of confidence in the conditions. He'll be looking forward to the checkered flag just to regroup.
Adam Tiaz is now 18th, still battling to hold his position. He's finding it tough in the midfield.
He's definitely feeling the pressure from the cars around him. It's a very tight pack, and one small mistake can cost you a position. He's got to stay absolutely focused and hit his marks precisely.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 19th position, still towards the back.
He's enduring a challenging race, just trying to bring the car home safely.
Martin Mull continues to lead this race, looking incredibly comfortable out front. He's controlling the pace perfectly.
He's just in a class of his own today. He got the jump at the start and hasn't looked back. This is the kind of drive that makes a statement in the championship. Very strong from Mull.
Jareth Hallam is still in second, but he's steadily losing ground to the leader Mull. He's still got a good gap to third though.
He's definitely established himself as the second fastest car on track today. He's driving brilliantly. He needs to focus on maintaining that gap to Stokes and securing his P2 result, which would be a fantastic achievement from 7th.
Chris Stokes is still in third, but Jamie Price is now right on his bumper. The battle for third is intensifying.
Price is really putting the squeeze on Stokes here. He's got the momentum and he's looking for a way through. This is where concentration is key. One small wobble from Stokes and Price will be through.
Jamie Price has made the move. He's through on Chris Stokes for third position. A clean overtake from Price.
He's been working on that for a few laps now, and he finally found the gap. Excellent opportunistic driving. Stokes just couldn't hold him off any longer. That's a well-deserved position gain for Price.
Chris Stokes drops to fourth, having lost another position. He's really struggling to hold his ground now.
He's definitely losing pace out there. He started on pole, but he's just not been able to match the front runners today. It's a tough pill to swallow when you're just leading positions, but you have to just keep pushing to the end.
Jimmy Lindo is still in 5th position. What a drive for the M-Class driver.
He's fending off faster cars with incredible composure, a truly outstanding performance.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped to 13th position, continuing his slide down the order. A very difficult race for him, losing 9 places from his starting position.
He's definitely lost all confidence in the car, or perhaps there's an issue with the setup or tires that we're not seeing. It's a testament to the brutal nature of racing that even a strong qualifier can have such a challenging race.
Joel Lemrick is now in 15th, continuing to fall further back.
He's finding it very tough out there, just unable to match the pace of the midfield.
Dominic Fauvargue is still in 6th, still trying to find a way past the incredible Jimmy Lindo.
He's pushing hard, but Lindo's defense is just impenetrable at the moment. What a battle.
Maximilian Turbin is still in 7th, holding a strong position after his early struggles.
He's driving a consistent race, consolidating his recovery and looking to gain more ground.
Niall Gagan is still in 8th position, maintaining his fantastic drive for an M-Class driver. He's keeping pace with the Pro-Ams around him.
He's really demonstrating exceptional car control and race management today. To hold off faster drivers for so long is a sign of true talent. I've seen pro drivers struggle more than he is today. Fantastic job.
Rich Snape has now dropped to 18th position, a very difficult race for him.
He's definitely struggling for pace and consistency out there today.
David Constable Barry has climbed into 9th position, a brilliant drive from 13th on the grid. He's made up 4 places and is looking very strong.
He's been incredibly consistent, hitting his marks, and just letting the race come to him. This is a perfect example of a disciplined, patient drive delivering results. Absolutely fantastic.
Phil Bodkin is now 19th, continuing to fall further back. He's enduring a very challenging race today.
He's definitely finding it hard to extract the pace from the car. The conditions might not be suiting his setup. It's a testament to the field's strength that even a small drop in pace can see you lose so many places.
Nigel Walters is still in last position, 20th. A very tough day for him on the Shanghai circuit, unable to find any competitive speed.
He's definitely finding it difficult. Sometimes you just don't have the answer on a particular day, and all you can do is learn from it. He'll be looking to gather as much data as possible for the future.
Adam Tiaz is now 18th, maintaining his position in the lower midfield.
He's defending well against any attacks from behind, focusing on bringing the car home.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 19th position, continuing to battle at the back. It's been a challenging race for him.
He's finding it tough to hold his own. The field is very competitive, and he's just struggling to keep up with the pace. It's about minimizing mistakes and trying to find any small advantage you can.
Martin Mull continues to lead the race, extending his lead even further. He's absolutely flying out there.
He's driving a perfect race. He got the start, he's managing his tires, and he's just consistently faster than everyone else. This is a dominant performance from Mull, a true masterclass.
Jareth Hallam is still in second, holding a comfortable gap to Price behind him.
He's on track for a superb second-place finish, a fantastic recovery from P7.
Jamie Price is now solidly in third position, having fought his way up from P3 on the grid. A good, consistent drive from him.
He's been very patient and persistent, picking off positions when the opportunity arose. This is a well-deserved podium position if he can hold on to it. He's driving with great composure.
Chris Stokes is still in fourth, but he's under pressure from Jimmy Lindo again.
The pole sitter is definitely struggling to maintain his position. Lindo is right there.
Jimmy Lindo is still in fifth position. What a phenomenal drive for the AM-class driver, still holding off Faux Varg.
He's truly performing beyond expectations. His defensive driving is just incredible.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has dropped to 14th position, another place lost for the struggling driver.
It's been a very difficult and disappointing race for him, losing 10 positions from his starting spot.
Joel Lemrick is now in 16th, continuing to fall further back down the order. A very tough race for him, unable to find any consistency or pace.
He's definitely finding it difficult out there. When you're losing confidence in the car, every corner becomes a battle. He'll be looking to the end of the race just to learn what went wrong today.
Dominic Faux Varg is still in 6th, still locked in that incredible battle with Jimmy Lindo. He can't seem to find a way past.
Lindo's defense is just superb. He's putting his car in all the right places, not giving Faux Varg any clear air. This is a masterclass in holding position against a faster driver. Faux Varg must be getting incredibly frustrated.
Maximilian Turbin is still in 7th, a strong and consistent drive after his early setbacks.
He's held his position well and consolidated his recovery, a very mature drive.
Niall Gagan is still in 8th position, performing exceptionally well for an M-class driver. He's fending off faster cars with remarkable ease.
He's driving with incredible maturity and confidence. To keep these Pro-Am drivers behind for so long is a testament to his skill. He's making a real name for himself today with this performance.
Rich Snape has now dropped to 19th position, continuing to fall further back. A very tough day at the office for him.
He's definitely finding it difficult to hold his pace today. The conditions or the car setup just aren't working for him. It's a long race when you're struggling for pace like that, constantly battling to keep positions.
David Constable Barry has climbed into ninth position, consolidating his excellent charge through the field.
He's made up 4 places and is looking very strong, a brilliant consistent drive.
Phil Bodkin is now 18th, having gained a position, perhaps due to a mistake from someone ahead.
He'll be looking to capitalize on any opportunity to make up more ground, a small win for him there.
Nigel Walters is still in last position, 20th.
It's been a very difficult and frustrating day for him, unable to find any competitive speed.
Adam Tiaz is now 17th, having gained a position.
He's trying to make up ground, a small boost for him after a tough run.
Neil Constable Barry is now in 19th position, continuing to battle at the back.
He's finding it tough, but he's still pushing, trying to find some pace.
Martin Mull continues to lead the race, extending his advantage over Jareth Hallam. He's truly in a league of his own today.
He's absolutely flawless out there. Every lap is just consistent, fast, and without error. This is the kind of performance that leaves
Jareth Hallam is still in second, holding a comfortable gap to Jamie Price in third.
He's on track for a brilliant
Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the practice session, with just over 7 minutes left on the clock. Adam Tiaz is still to set a representative lap time as we tick down to just over 5 minutes remaining in this practice session. With 4.5 minutes left, Niall Gagan is yet to put a time on the board.
It's interesting to see some drivers holding back, maybe waiting for the track to rubber in or for a clear space to really push it.
Philip Kunz is another driver we're waiting to see register a lap time, with just over 4 minutes remaining.
Sometimes in practice, you're not just looking for outright pace, you're also evaluating different setups, different fuel loads. There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Welcome back to Shanghai. The wind is a definite factor today as we prepare for the green flag.
That 12-knot wind, especially across some of these straights and through the faster corners, will certainly keep the drivers on their toes. I remember battling similar conditions here. It adds another layer of challenge.
On the front row, in P2, we have Phil Bodkin from England, driving the JT5 Shiro 2021, and he's competing in the AM class today.
Bodkin's performance in the Shiro has been impressive this weekend. As an AM driver starting that high, the pressure is immense, but the car is known for its stability, which will help him manage that early race pace.
Further down the grid, in 4th position, it's Rich Snape from the United Kingdom, also an AM class driver, in his JT5 SNX 2021.
The SNX is a great car, very responsive, which Snape will need from that second row. Getting a good launch will be crucial to hold that position against the pro drivers behind him.
Maximilian Turbin, another English driver, starts from 6th in the JT5 Moyota 2021, a Pro-Am competitor.
Turbin is known for his consistency, and the Moyota is a very balanced machine. Starting 6th with that Pro-Am experience, he'll be looking to make up ground quickly in the opening laps.
From 8th position, we have Joel Lemrick, in another JT5 Shiro 2021, an AM class driver.
8th is a tough spot, right in the thick of the mid-pack traffic. Lemrick will need to be aggressive but smart, especially in this car which tends to be very predictable under braking.
Dominic Fauvard, from the United Kingdom, starts his JT5 Shiro 2021 from 10th on the grid, a Pro-Am driver. Jamie Price, another Pro-Am driver in a JT5 Shiro 2021, is just behind him in 11th.
The Shiro is a popular choice this weekend, isn't it? Price will be looking to use its strong chassis to navigate the chaos of the lower mid-pack and make some early moves.
In 13th, it's Chris Stokes, also from England and driving a JT5 Shiro 2021 as a Pro-Am driver.
Thomas Kruger Dorado, from the UK, starts his JT5 Moyota 2021 from P14. The Moyota is a car I know well. It's very forgiving on turn-in, which will be an asset from that starting position.
Martin Mol from the Netherlands, a pro-class driver, is in 15th, also in a JT5 Moyota 2021.
Mol is a pro driver starting 15th. He'll be furious about that qualifying result and will be absolutely on the attack from the moment the lights go out. Expect some aggressive driving from him.
Adam Tias from the UK, an AM class driver, starts in 17th with his JT5 Shiro 2021. And we can't forget our pole sitter, Neil Constable Barry from the United Kingdom, an AM class driver starting from P1 in his JT5 Shiro 2021. The lights are out, and we're underway with a formation lap under the safety car.
A safety car start means the tires won't be quite up to temperature when we go green, which adds an interesting element to the initial attack and braking zones. It's a different kind of pressure for the lead driver to manage.
The cars are strung out behind the safety car, keeping their spacing as they prepare for the start.
They'll be weaving a little, trying to build some heat into those tires and brakes. It's a critical moment for feel, especially with the wind we've got today.
Everyone is holding station behind the safety car. It's a calm before the storm out there. Those early corners are going to be absolutely vital for positioning once we go green.
This is where drivers are really feeling out the track conditions, checking for any last-minute grip changes, especially with that wind. You're also planning your attack for the start, looking at your mirrors, trying to predict who's going to be aggressive and where the gaps might open up.
The field is tightly bunched now, all eyes on the safety car as it continues its lap. They'll be hoping to get the green flag soon and really unleash these machines.
You're trying to build tire pressure here, but not too much, finding that sweet spot for when the lights go out. It's a tricky balance, and for the pole sitter, they're managing their delta to the safety car, making sure they don't break traction when they finally accelerate away.
Just a few more corners now, and then we should be ready to get this race properly started.
The anticipation is building. These drivers are just itching to get on the throttle.
Safety car in this
looks set to
lap.
come in at the end of this lap.
The drivers will be ready to go. The field is tightening up.
The safety car lights are off. It will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Get ready everyone, the race is about to properly begin.
This is where the leader dictates the pace. They'll try to get a jump but also hold the pack tight enough to prevent anyone behind them from getting a clear run. The timing of that final acceleration is absolutely everything, especially for the guys at the front.
The field is now bunched up tightly behind the pole sitter, ready for the green flag.
They're all looking for those small advantages.
Get
waiting
ready,
for that
safety
moment
car's
to
clear.
pounce.
Green, 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 let's go.
And the lights are out, the race is on. Joel Lemrick holds on to P8 in the opening scramble, with David Constable very right on his tail, just 0.2 of a second back.
That's a strong hold for Lemrick in a chaotic start. Maintaining that gap in the early stages is crucial. It means he's managing the pressure from behind and isn't losing ground.
Massive gains for Joel Lemrick, up 3 places into P5. David Constable Barry has dropped back to P8, with the gap now out to 0.8 of a second.
3 places up is an incredible start from Lemrick, really making the most of the opening lap. That shows great racecraft.
Yellow flag,
and
safety
aggression.
car's out.
Shiro is clearly working for him.
And we have a safety car. A big incident has occurred somewhere on track, slowing the pace immediately. The yellow flags are waving all around, bringing the field back together.
This changes everything. Drivers who made early gains will see their advantage evaporate, and those who struggled will get a chance to reset. It's all about managing tire temperatures now and preparing for a potential restart, which can be just as chaotic as the initial start.
That was a really frantic opening lap before the safety car, wasn't it? Such a contrast to the formation lap pace.
It always is. You go from feeling out the car to full attack, and you're just reacting to everything around you. Those first few corners are a blur.
Lemrick certainly made the most of it, jumping 3 places in that short burst.
Absolutely, that's what you aim for. Identifying the gaps and having the confidence to go for them, especially when the tires are still getting up to temperature, takes real commitment.
Now everyone gets a chance to regroup behind the safety car, almost a mini reset.
It is, but it also means the pressure builds for the restart. You know everyone else has had time to think, too, and they'll be just as hungry for position.
The safety car is out, circulating on track now after that significant incident.
This will give the marshals time to clear the track, and the drivers a moment to catch their breath.
It's always a shame to see an early safety car, especially after such a lively start. That initial burst of action was really something, with cars fighting for every inch. You could see some drivers really pushing the limits to gain ground. Now everyone is just trying to keep warm and focused, waiting for the green flag again. It totally changes the race dynamic, doesn't it? All those early gains are now neutralized. And with that Shanghai win, I wonder if the drivers are finding any new challenges as they circulate slowly.
It's frustrating when you've made a good start, but it's also an opportunity for those who perhaps didn't quite nail it. You can almost feel the reset button being pressed. During these periods, you're constantly monitoring your tire pressures and temperatures, trying to predict when the safety car might come in. You're also running scenarios through your head for the restart, who's going to attack where, what lines they might take. The wind, even at low speeds, you feel it on the aero. It makes you anticipate how the car might react at full pace again. The main thing is to stay focused. Don't let the lull break your concentration, because the restart can be even more intense than the original start. The tension builds, everyone knows they're about to go full throttle again, and nobody wants to be caught sleeping.
The safety car remains out on track, the incident clearly requiring significant attention.
It's crucial that the marshals have a clear area to work, and the drivers will understand the necessity of this prolonged safety car period.
It's always tough for the fans to have a safety car period this early, but safety comes first, of course. That initial incident must have been quite substantial to warrant this extended safety car. The drivers will be eager to get back to racing speed, though you can feel the patience wearing thin. Once the green flag drops again, it's going to be a mad dash into that first corner all over again. This effectively resets the field, so those who had a tougher start might now see a new opportunity. And some of these M-Class drivers, like Lemrick, have shown they can really mix it up.
This kind of lull under a safety car, it's a mental game. You're trying to stay sharp, keep the focus, but also conserving your mental energy for the restart. You're always asking yourself, when are the lights going out? What's my plan for the restart? It's a constant tactical assessment. The biggest challenge is keeping heat in the tires and brakes. You can weave a little, but it's not the same as racing speeds. I remember times when a safety car completely changed my strategy mid-race. It forces quick thinking and adaptability from the pit wall and the driver. That restart is going to be incredibly important. Nobody wants to be caught off guard, and everyone will be pushing hard from the moment the throttle opens. You're also checking your car's vitals, making sure everything feels right after the initial hard push and before the next one.
The safety car continues to lead the field as track clear-up operations are still underway after that incident.
This wait can feel like an eternity in the cockpit. Drivers will be doing everything to stay mentally sharp for the restart.
It's a testament to the safety standards these days that they take the time needed to fully clear an incident.
Absolutely. Back in my day, sometimes the clear-up was a little more rushed. But it's always better to be safe than sorry, and the drivers know that.
This extended period also gives the engineers a chance to look at data from the first half lap and prep for the new start.
For sure, they'll be feeding the drivers any subtle changes they've noticed or suggesting adjustments for the restart strategy. It's a quick reset for the whole team.
And with the wind we mentioned at the start, that could still play a factor when they get back up to speed.
That wind can catch you out mid-corner. You learn to compensate for it, but a sudden gust at high speed can shift the car just enough to make you work for it.
The safety car remains on track. It appears the incident was more complex than initially thought. This extended period means a very different race strategy will now unfold for many teams.
Every driver will be mentally rehearsing that restart now, where they can gain, where they need to defend. From a driver's perspective, these long safety car periods are incredibly challenging for maintaining concentration and tire temperatures.
It's certainly testing everyone's patience, this extended safety car period, both in the cockpit and for us watching. This delay fundamentally alters the entire race dynamic. Strategies are being torn up and rewritten on the fly. You can almost feel the collective anticipation building.
Safety
knowing
car
that
in
when
this
the safety
lap.
car finally peels off, it's going to be absolute chaos again. It really does level the playing field, giving every driver a fresh shot at attacking the front of the pack. The team managers will be earning their money right now, relaying new instructions and targets to their drivers. We're essentially looking at a whole new race when the green flag eventually waves again.
This is where your mental stamina really comes into play as a driver. You can't switch off, not for a second. Maintaining that edge, keeping the focus while driving at parade speed, is incredibly challenging. Your body wants to relax, but your mind has to be at 100%. I remember one race where a long safety car meant my tires cooled so much, the first few corners after the restart felt like driving on ice until they came back up. Every driver will be looking at the car ahead and behind, visualizing exactly how they're going to tackle the first corner after the restart. The adrenaline dump from the start, then the lull, and then another surge for the restart. It's physically and mentally draining.
Get
And
ready,
the pressure
safety
on
car's
the lead
clear.
driver for that restart is immense. They have to judge the timing perfectly to get a jump without being passed too easily.
Green, 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 let's
The
go.
safety car is pulling into the pits. We are going green again. Chris Stokes holds P15 on lap 3, just a tenth behind Adam Tias in 14th as the restart sequence begins. Chris Stokes has made the move. He's now P14, passing Adam Tias who drops to P15, a tenth still separating them. And Chris Stokes continues his charge, up to P13 now. He's pulled over a second clear of Adam Tias, who drops to P15. On lap 4, Philip Kuntz is holding P9, just 2/10 off Thomas Kruger Dorado in P8, a very tight battle there.
Kuntz is right on the tail of the Toyota, looking for any opportunity. That short gap means he's getting good drive out of the corners, setting himself up for a move.
Philip Kuntz has lost a position, dropping to P10, and Thomas Kruger Dorado has pulled a 1.2-second gap ahead in P8.
That's a significant loss of time and position for Kuntz. It suggests a moment of hesitation or a small error that cost him dearly, allowing the car ahead to break away.
Rich Snape is fighting hard in P3, with Niall Gagan just 2/10 behind him in P4 on lap 4.
Snape has managed to eke out a couple more tenths on Gagan. That's good defensive driving, just enough to break the toe and make it harder for the car behind.
Rich Snape has moved up into P2. An incredible jump as Niall Gagan drops to P5, now half a second behind.
That's a fantastic opportunistic move from Snape. He's clearly capitalized on something, either a mistake ahead or a very aggressive, well-timed overtake, while Gagan has dropped back through the pack.
Jimmy Lindo is in 14th, just a tenth behind Joel Lemrick in 13th on lap 4.
Lindo is putting serious pressure on Lemrick there. That tiny gap means he's looking for a way past, possibly in the next braking zone or through a rapid sequence of corners.
Jimmy Lindo has gained a place, up to P13, but Joel Lemrick has extended his lead to 1.3 seconds, moving up to P12. It's been a really interesting restart, hasn't it? Lots of position changes.
Absolutely. That immediate dash after the safety car is always intense. Drivers are pushing hard to make up ground or defend their spots.
Rich Snape's move into P2 was particularly impressive, really showing some pace and ambition.
That kind of jump means he found clean air and made it stick. It's about being aggressive but precise in those moments.
And we've seen some drivers lose round 2, indicating just how fine the margins are out there.
One small mistake after a safety car and you can bleed a lot of positions. It's a testament to the pressure they're under.
Thomas Kruger Dorado is now P9 on lap 5, just 3/10 behind Martin Hull in P8. Thomas Kruger Dorado has gained a place, up to P8, still only 3/10 behind Martin Hull, who has moved into P7.
That's interesting, both drivers making progress. It looks like they're working their way through the field together, but Dorado is still applying that pressure to Hull's rear wing.
Joel Lemrick holds P10 on lap 5, with Philip Kuntz right there, just a tenth back in 11th. Joel Lemrick is up another spot to P9. Philip Kuntz remains in 11th, still a tenth behind him. Joel Lemrick has dropped back to P10, but he's now opened up a 1-second gap to Philip Kuntz in 11th. Chris Stokes is up to 11th on lap 6, just 2/10 behind Philip Kuntz in P10.
Stokes is pushing hard, really using the Shiro's cornering ability to stay glued to Kuntz. This is a classic chase, waiting for that small opening.
Chris Stokes holds P11, but Philip Kuntz has now pulled out a full 1-second gap ahead in P10. Neil Constable Barry is down in P15 on lap 6, now 0.4 seconds behind Maximilian Turbin in 14th.
This is a major drop for Constable Barry, our pole sitter. He's clearly struggling to find pace or has had a moment that's cost him dearly. To be down in 15th at this stage is a real surprise.
Constable Barry remains in P15, now a full second behind Maximilian Turbin in 14th.
He's losing touch with that group. It looks like whatever issue he had earlier is still affecting his ability to push. From pole to P15, that's a tough day at the office so far.
Rich Snape continues his incredible run in P2 on lap 6, just half a second behind leader Phil Bodkin.
Snape is really demonstrating his capability. To be sitting P2 in the M class, right on the tail of another M driver, shows fantastic consistency and speed after such a chaotic start.
Jamie Price is now P10 on lap 6, 3/10 behind Philip Kuntz, who is in P9. Jamie Price has gained a spot, now into P9, still 3/10 behind Philip Kuntz, who is up to P8.
Price is doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. They're both moving forward in tandem, which suggests they're finding similar pace through the traffic.
It's been a race of two halves already, hasn't it? From the initial scramble to the safety car, and now this intense restart phase.
Absolutely, and the performance of Rich Snape from P4 to P2 is really standing out. He's found a rhythm very quickly after that restart.
On the other end of the spectrum, Neil Constable Barry dropping from pole to P15 is a huge story. Something clearly isn't right there.
It's tough when you lose that early momentum. Whether it's a car issue or just getting swamped in the restart, recovering from that takes a lot of mental fortitude.
The mid-pack is also incredibly tight, with drivers like Price and Kuntz constantly trading blows and positions.
That's where consistency becomes key. Every 10th counts, and a small mistake can send you back several places in a heartbeat. It's exhilarating to be in that pack, but incredibly demanding.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has made big gains, now in P6 on lap 7, just 3/10 off Dominic Fauvargue in P5. Thomas Kruger Dorado still in P6, the gap to Dominic Fauvargue in P5 has grown slightly to 4/10 now.
Fauvargue is just managing to hold that gap, likely using the track position to his advantage and getting a strong exit out of the previous corner. Dorado needs to find an extra 10th or two.
Martin Mull is in P6 on lap 7, with Thomas Kruger Dorado right behind him in P7, only 3/10 separating them. Mull remains P6, still 3/10 ahead of Thomas Kruger Dorado in P7.
This battle for P6 and P7 is incredibly intense. Mull is holding his line well, but Dorado isn't giving him any breathing room at all. You can feel the pressure building.
Rich Snape is still in a fantastic P2 on lap 8, now just 2/10 behind leader Phil Bodkin.
Snape has really closed that gap down. He's clearly found a consistent pace, and he's now within striking distance of the lead. This is where he'll be planning his attack, looking at where Bodkin might be weaker.
Rich Snape holds P2, but the gap to Phil Bodkin in P1 has stretched back out to half a second.
Bodkin has responded well to the pressure. He's found a little bit more pace there to pull away. Sometimes a leader just needs that push from behind to find another gear.
Neil Constable Barry is in P14 on lap 8, 4/10 off Adam Tias in P13. Constable Barry remains in P14, with the gap to Adam Tias in P13 now growing to half a second. Martin Mull is in P6 on lap 8, just 2/10 behind Dominic Fauvargue in P5.
This pro driver is really starting to push, making up ground consistently. 2/10 is nothing at this speed. He'll be looking to make a move very soon on Fauvargue.
Martin Mull has made the pass. He's now P5, with Dominic Fauvargue dropping behind him to P4, still only 2/10 ahead. Martin Mull making that pass for P5 was a really clean move, showing that pro-class experience.
Definitely, when you're that close, it's about picking your moment and committing. Mull timed that perfectly, and now he's looking to put pressure on P4.
Up at the front, Snape and Bodkin are still engaged in a fascinating duel for the lead.
It's great to see two young drivers really pushing each other for the win. It speaks volumes about the quality in this class.
And down the field, Constable Barry is continuing to struggle. It's a stark contrast to his pole position.
That's motor racing sometimes. You can be on top one moment, and then conditions or an unseen issue can send you spiraling. It's about adapting, but sometimes it's just not your day.
Martin Mull is in P5 on lap 9, now just a 10th behind Dominic Fauvargue in P4.
Mull is absolutely hunting Fauvargue down. That gap is nothing. He's in the slipstream, looking for a way past into P4. The pro driver is on a mission.
Mole holds P5, but Fauvarg has managed to extend his lead slightly to 3/10 in P4. Niall Gagan is in P7 on lap 9, 3/10 behind Philip Kuntz in P6.
Gagan will be looking to get past Kuntz soon. He's been consistent all race, and now he's closing in. It's a key battle in the mid-pack.
Gagan holds P7, but Philip Kuntz has now pulled out a 0.7 second lead in P6.
Kuntz has clearly found some pace there, perhaps getting a better exit from a crucial corner or just putting in a really strong sector time. That's a good defensive move to stretch the gap.
Gareth Hallam is now up to P3 on lap 9, just 1/10 behind Phil Botkin in P2.
Hallam is absolutely flying. He's put in some strong laps to close right up on Botkin. This is a battle for a podium spot, and it's incredibly close.
Gareth Hallam takes P2, Phil Botkin drops to P3, and there is absolutely nothing between them. Phil Botkin is in P3 on lap 10, now a 10th behind Gareth Hallam in P2.
Botkin is trying to respond after losing that position. The gap is still tiny, he's not letting Hallam get away. This could go down to the wire for P2.
Phil Botkin fights back. He's regained P2, with Gareth Hallam right behind him in P3, absolutely no gap between them.
Incredible, that's a textbook repass from Botkin. He didn't let Hallam consolidate the move, and he immediately fought back. This is fantastic racing for P2.
Philip Kuntz is in P6 on lap 10, 3/10 behind Martin Mole in P5. Kuntz remains P6, still 3/10 behind Martin Mole in P5.
Kuntz is consistently holding that gap. It suggests he's either waiting for an opportune moment or Mole is just grabbing a perfect defensive line. Either way, it's a tense situation for P5.
Martin Mole is in P5 on lap 10, now just a 10th off Dominic Fauvarg in P4. Martin Mole takes P4. He's past Dominic Fauvarg, who drops to P5, and there is absolutely nothing between them.
Mole is on an absolute charge. The pro driver is showing his class, relentlessly hunting down positions. That was a textbook move to get P4.
Fauvarg fights back immediately. He's regained P4, pushing Mole back to P5, with just a 10th between them. Niall Gagan is now P6 on lap 11, half a second behind Martin Mole in P5. Gagan holds P6, closing the gap to Martin Mole in P5 slightly to 4/10.
He's chipping away at that gap. Mole is currently battling Fauvarg, and Gagan is trying to take advantage of any hesitation or defensive driving that might slow them down.
What a phenomenal battle we're seeing for P2 and also for P4, P5.
It's relentless, isn't it? Fauvarg and Mole are really trading blows. That's the kind of wheel-to-wheel action every driver dreams of, but it's incredibly demanding to execute.
And Botkin and Hallam up front, that P2 fight has been back and forth so many times.
It shows their determination. Neither wants to concede, and they're both finding that extra bit of pace to respond to each other. It's a real test of nerve and skill.
With less than 5 minutes plus a lap remaining, every single position means so much now.
This is where mistakes happen. You push that little bit harder, that little bit longer, and the car might just say no. Tire degradation, fuel, it all comes into play now.
Martin Mole is in P5 on lap 11, now just 2/10 behind Dominic Fauvarg in P4. Martin Mole has taken P4 again. Dominic Fauvarg drops to P5, with absolutely nothing between them. Philip Kuntz is in P7 on lap 11, 3/10 behind Niall Gagan in P6. Kuntz remains P7, but Gagan has now stretched his lead in P6 to half a second. Martin Mole's persistence in that P4 battle is just incredible, he just doesn't give up. It's fascinating to watch these drivers go at it lap after lap, trading paint and positions. With the time winding down, every move, every corner exit, is absolutely critical. We're seeing a fantastic display of racecraft throughout the field. The pressure must be immense for every single driver out there right now. This race is really building to a crescendo, it feels like.
You can practically feel the determination from Mole. That's the mindset of a pro driver, relentlessly pushing until you make the pass stick. These close battles are physically and mentally draining. You're constantly calculating, anticipating, and reacting at incredibly high speeds. This late in the race, tire management comes to the forefront. Even a slight drop in grip can be the difference between holding a position or losing it. Every driver is pushing the car to its absolute limit, trying to find that fraction of a second, but also managing fatigue and potential errors. I remember races where a final lap battle was decided by who had the confidence to commit just a little bit more, or brake just a little bit later. This is what we race for. These final few minutes are where heroes are made and hearts are broken.
Dominic Fauvargue is in P5 on lap 12, now 3/10 behind Martin Mole in P4.
Fauvargue is still right there, not letting Mole get away. He's clearly got a strong defensive strategy to fight back, but Mole's pace is relentless.
Dominic Fauvargue remains in P5, but Martin Mole has jumped up to P3, pulling out a half-second gap. Niall Gagan is in P6 on lap 13, just 3/10 off Dominic Fauvargue in P5.
Gagan has been very consistent, and now he's right on the bumper of Fauvargue. He'll be sensing an opportunity, especially after Fauvargue's intense battle with Mole.
Niall Gagan holds P6, but Dominic Fauvargue has jumped to P4, extending the gap to 0.6 seconds.
Fauvargue is clearly not giving up. He's found a way past someone to regain P4, which is a fantastic recovery, and he's now pulling away from Gagan. This race is far from over for him.
Philip Kuntz is in P7 on lap 13, just 3/10 behind Niall Gagan in P6. Kuntz remains P7, but Gagan has extended his lead in P6 slightly to 4/10. Niall Gagan is now P6 on lap 13, just 2/10 behind Phil Botkin in P5. Gagan holds P6, but Phil Botkin has now opened up a 0.6 second gap ahead in P5.
Botkin is managing his position well. He's been in a few tough battles, but he's finding ways to create small margins, which is crucial in these closing stages.
Jamie Price is now P7 on lap 13, 4/10 behind Niall Gagan in P6.
Price has quietly moved himself up the order, and now he's putting pressure on Gagan. This is another close battle developing as we head towards the final moments.
Jamie Price remains P7, but Niall Gagan has gained a spot to P5, extending his lead to 0.6 seconds. Niall Gagan is now P5 on lap 14, half a second behind Phil Botkin in P4. Gagan holds P5, still half a second behind Phil Botkin in P4.
This battle for P4 and P5 is holding steady, but there's not much time left for Gagan to close that half-second gap. He'll need a perfect run through these last few corners.
Jamie Price is in P7 on lap 14, 6/10 behind Philip Kuntz in P6.
Price needs to find some pace if he wants to challenge Kuntz. 6/10 is a significant gap to close in the final moments of a race like this.
Price remains P7, still 6/10 behind Philip Kuntz in P6.
Kuntz is doing a good job of managing that gap, keeping Price at arm's length. With limited laps left, he just needs to maintain this consistency.
Rich Snape is absolutely flying. He's in the lead and just 20 seconds from the checkered flag, with Martin Mull now 3.4 seconds behind him. Rich Snape crosses the line. What an incredible drive from P4 on the grid to take the win. Martin Mull comes home in second, a phenomenal drive from 15th on the grid. Dominic Fauvard finishes in third place, a brilliant effort after starting from 10th on the grid.
Fauvard really had to fight for that podium, battling tooth and nail through the mid-pack. To convert a P10 start into a podium finish is a fantastic result and shows his determination.
And completing the top 7, it's Phil Bodkin in 4th, Niall Gagan in 5th, Philip Kuntz in 6th, and Jamie Price rounding out a strong race in 7th. Further down, Jareth Hallam takes 8th, Maximilian Turbin 9th, Thomas Kruger Dorado 10th, and David Constable Barry finishes in 11th. Neil Constable Barry finishes in 12th, a tough day for our pole sitter, and Nigel Walters comes home in 13th.
Constable Barry will certainly be dissecting that race. From pole to 12th is a significant drop, but he still brought the car home, which is important for championship points.
Adam Tias crosses the line in 14th position.
Tias held his own in some very tight mid-pack battles today. Bringing it home in 14th is a solid points finish after a race with a lot of movement.
And Chris Stokes takes the checkered flag in 15th position.